Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. I am the Crypto Crow, and today I'm going to explain to you some pretty heavy stuff as it relates to the price of Cardano and how you could have turned $10 a day into $250,000 in not much time at all. And now we have the opportunity to do this all over again in this current market. So stick around and make sure that you watch this video through to the end. You're going to learn something. It's going to help you. And if you know me at all, you know I'm always here trying to figure out ways to help you improve your life by making solid investments, sometimes not so solid, depending on the project. But we all know over the years, Cardano has very well proven itself. So yeah, stick around as we dive into some of this stuff here moving forward. Alex Lawson, of course, is here in the chat. Number one, Joe Berlin, what's going on? How are you guys? Hopefully everything is going well for you. Getting some weird audio sync. Caught you live. What up, Rito? Yes, you did. Yeah, it's 1:30. Yeah, I didn't even look at the time when I decided to go live. Babyface, what's going on? Caw. So I'm going to go over some things real quick. First, let me see, what am I going to show? Okay. First thing that I want to show everybody is my Soolblocks. If you're not involved, I'd love for you to get involved, especially if you hold a Murder of Crows NFT. Unlock your profile, start getting that set up, because we're going to need some testing very soon. And I want feedback. And we're getting ready to launch the governance system, so that if you hold a governance NFT, which you can get right here, you click this link, it takes you to Soolblocks governance, tells you about it, the roadmap, basically which one of the 3 different images you're going to get on your NFT, and then you can mint your NFT right here. And take a look at the light paper, because this is going to explain a lot of stuff. It is a living document, and it's valuable information. You're going to want to know as to, basically what we're building, why, how, all that fun stuff. So make sure you check it out. These NFTs ultimately are a utility NFT that's going to unlock access to voting rights on the Soolblocks platform, so that you can kind of help determine what features get prioritized, what gets built, the direction of the platform, so forth and so on. It's a big experiment, really. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But the more people that get involved and the more people that start participating in Soolblocks and helping to test it and things, this is a slow grow thing. We're not looking to launch this. It's already there. It works. It's a social media platform with the basic functionality. It will check your wallet for your Murder of Crows NFT. So you want to make sure that you've got that in your NAMI wallet, or eventually your Lace wallet, that sort of thing. And just get involved, start writing, sharing content, so forth. You're going to see a lot more functionality open up on here as we move forward. So we'd love to see you involved. And these NFTs, these governance NFTs, are ultimately funding my developer, because as you know, everybody's been hurting, and I've been coming out of pocket a lot, and which is fine, but we're preparing for a Project Catalyst submission, and the more people we have involved in this early on, the better. So make sure you get involved. This video obviously is also for the month of November, sponsored by BitGet. Links are in the description. Make sure you check it out. I'm going to start. I'm telling you right now, I did one trade so far, and I haven't been super active, but that one trade was profitable. And where's my order history? So yeah, it's one profitable trade executed so far. And I am getting more active, but I'm still trying to finalize the system. There's so much stuff going on in crypto and in trading and different trading systems and indicators and things of that nature. And I want to get a really, really good system in place that I am absolutely confident about. If I'm using a system and I'm like, I'm not sure if I like this 100%, it doesn't really bode well for my particular trade style, that indicator or that system may very well work for you, and you may love it. So there you go. But for me, I'm looking for something particular, and I am going to be working with the guys with Chart Prime here soon, and we're going to be working together to try and create a system that really matches my trading style, what I want to accomplish, and what kind of time frames. And of course, when that's all done, I will share that all with you. So that's coming. So now let's take a look at what the point of this whole video is. This kind of gave some opportunity for people to come into the live. And so now we're going to start showing you guys some stuff. Let's see here. All right. So let me get rid of this and move this over and to the left, to the right. All right. So here we go. This is looking at Bitcoin's current weekly. And as you know, and I've said I can see us pumping a little bit here in the short term. That's kind of what I've been looking for. And I'm saying, hey, we could go up a little bit, and then I see us getting another pretty big leg down. Obviously, I'm expecting another leg down after November 8th. Because I think that there's a lot happening that we don't even know about. And there are so many little intricacies to the economy and what's going on a global level. And I do think that November 8th is going to play a big role into what direction we go from here. I think either way, however, whether, the left maintains control or the right takes over control, I still think we're going to be going down. And I think we're going to be going down into what many are calling potential I've ever seen. So that's pretty scary stuff. But the best thing I can say is you prepare now for what's coming in the future. And I definitely like to be prepared. And that's kind of what this video is all about. If you're able to afford it, what you do right now over the next couple of years is going to echo generations for you. I mean, quite frankly, generations for you, your family, your family's families, and on down the line. And so what we have here is yet another opportunity to capitalize on a market cycle that has proven itself time and time again since 2009. And regardless of what's going on in the world on a micro scale, or even a macro scale to some degree, these cycles typically tend to play out. They might play out a little differently or in a little bit of a different time scale, but I think ultimately the stars are aligned to see a similar pattern happening as we move forward. Nothing's broken the patterns yet. As a matter of fact, the very inception of Bitcoin happened at a time about like this. It was kind of the whole reason for it, right? Now, here's what we're looking at. So this is where we are right now in this weekly candle. Okay, we're November 1st. This is my birthday month. So for my birthday, I want everybody to go get a governance NFT so that I don't have to go in my pocket and pay my developers rent. I kid. I know he watches these, so I got to toy with him too. So yeah, this is my birthday month. I can't believe it's going to be my birthday in 21 days. Wow. I'm going to be 45 for those of you that don't know. I am old. So anyway, not really. 45 is the new 30, isn't it? I don't know. I don't know if my joints would agree with that. But anyway, so as we look at this price action here, this is not current price action. Obviously, if you're new here, this is the NASDAQ 2003, starting from like 2003, starting from the peak of the NASDAQ market and then condensed down to fit kind of the Bitcoin time cycles. All right. And it's been lining up pretty effectively for the most part. I would say maybe with 80% accuracy. Okay. Now, as we move forward, we've got this little gap here because this is where the last bottom was in the last cycle. It was more like 514 days from the next halving. Okay. This here is Bitcoin's next halving. It's going to be in April. Now, it could be April 13th, 14th, 15th. A lot of it depends on the hashing power at the time and so forth. But give or take, it's going to happen in April. I would say sometime mid to late April. And we could either be right around the bottom or we could bottom somewhere around here based off of the previous cycle. Okay. Now, that being said, given the fact that we're entering a recession, well, I think we're already kind of in one, but the powers that be like to change definitions for everything to kind of suit whatever they're trying to say right now. So everybody in the know knows what's really happening. I just think it's probably going to get significantly worse, but it's going to start really coming downhill probably by the end of this month, at which point that would line up almost perfectly with about a 518 days till what may be the next halving, and fall in line with what we're used to seeing in terms of peak to bottom, bottom to halving. Okay. Now, and I don't need to go much further back than that. So this is Cardano. Now, what happens is, and you guys can see all this, it's not going to, it'll matter, but actually, I'm going to break this up. I don't want to get into a lot of that stuff yet, not just yet. Now, what we've seen is that when Bitcoin peaks, the altcoin market, so Bitcoin might peak on November 1st, and then the altcoins might drop, they'll go up because people are taking the profits from the Bitcoin peak, putting them into the altcoin to get a big parabolic run up in the altcoin market, and then the altcoin market tends to drop, right? So that being said, what we're looking at is Cardano's price, which peaked in January. It looks like about January 6, 2018. Now, what also happens is that the altcoins generally drop approximately 20% further down than Bitcoin does at a bottom. All right. So from Cardano's price peak at about $1.33, which is where I remember the first peak. Now, keep in mind, this is 2017 into 2018. So this is January of 2018 right here with this circle. And then we started to move down, okay? We got a little bit of a bottom here, and then we moved up, and then we went lower. This is kind of approximately where I think we're at. Like, we're doing something similar. And when we bottomed, this is the bottom, all right? So we had 342 days from the altcoin or the Cardano peak to the bottom. From here, we had 514 days from the bottom to the next halving, okay? This is just bottom to halving. We still had plenty to go before we really started to go up, all right? So all of these calculations are not, it's not counting any of this, which is still roughly about the same. I could have projected this out for bigger numbers and bigger earnings and be more impressive. But I just wanted to keep it simple as I could, because you can see this whole period, 514 days, basically a year and a half roughly, we were more or less sideways in price activity from the bottom. So if we're entering this territory here, okay, we still have all this time until the next Bitcoin halving, all right? Because the halving cycle definitely plays a major role into what's going on in the altcoin market, all right? Because Bitcoin's price action dictates all else for the most part. Now, that's not to say that, and on top of that, what we're seeing is as institutions enter the space more, as more regulations enter the space, as more is happening, we're seeing similar activity, Wyckoff accumulation, distribution. We're seeing a lot of these take place. Now, let's say you started buying, since we're right around here now, this is why I'm doing this video, because I really, really hope everybody smashes the likes on this, leaves your comments below, and share the hell out of this video, if you will. I really want people to see this video, especially newcomers to Cardano or newcomers to the market overall. I think this is going to be a very valuable video for a lot of people. Now, given where we're at, if we just average the price over this period of time, which ranges from anywhere from 2 cents to like 11 cents at some of these peaks, okay, within, if we were to just do an approximate average of 7 cents, all right, throughout all 514 of these days, you're basically accumulating 142.85 ADA every day. All right, that's based off of a $10 a day investment, maybe $300 a month, okay? So by the time you've started here around the bottom, which is where I believe we are now, by the time we get to just the halving, okay, this isn't even, like I said, this isn't counting all of this time. Let's take a look. How much extra time is this? Just for the sake of it, let's take a look at how much time. Until we started to really go up, what's the price there? That's about 16 cents. Let's stay right here. That's 193 days in addition. Okay, so just from the halving, we still had another 193 days until we started that parabolic run where things started to really start shooting to the moon around November of 2020. So just between the bottoms, approximate bottoms, and the halving at $10 a day, you will have invested $5,140 over that period of time. You will have accumulated 73,428.57 Cardano, ADA. All right. So over this period of time, you would have invested $5,000. You would have had 73,428 Cardano by the time of the halving. Now, let's say you're like, okay, I've averaged in, the price is starting to go higher. I don't want to start lowering my average in. Okay, I'm good. Or maybe you say, you know what, I'm going to keep going with this. I just want to round this off to 100,000. I know a lot of people like those easy numbers. Like I've got 100,000 ADA. I've got 200,000 ADA, right? I do the same thing. I don't like those odd numbers. But let's just say we stop there. We've got 73,000 and a half ADA. And we let it ride, and we're just accumulating. Now, keep in mind, we're staking the entire time. We're holding this Cardano, and we're staking it to like the Crow node at CROW, or any other node of your choice. There are almost 3,000 nodes. Pick the one you like, okay? It doesn't have to be mine, although I prefer it because, you know, I like that. But anyway, if you held through both peaks, maybe you didn't sell at this one, because here's the thing. I know a lot of people hold. A lot of people, I mean, 80% of the total supply of ADA right now is being held. If you would have invested that $5,000 over the term, up to the halving, stopped there, and just held it and staked it, your value of those tokens would be $213,565.70 at the peak. That is not including this approximate 4.5% annual yield. So if you're staking this, if you're accumulating 10 cents every day and you're adding it to that same wallet that you've delegated to a staking node, you're going to start generating rewards on top of that. So you might be able to average this out and say, I don't know, $225,000. You're looking at almost $250,000 off of a $5,000 investment, folks. Now, some of you are going to say, yeah, but Cardano's never going to get down to that price again. I'm going to get a lot less ADA for that kind of money now. And that's true. However, the difference here is the price this time around could very well go significantly higher than this peak of $3.13, or what I remembered is somewhere around $3.33. So even if you're averaging in now, okay, let's say you've got 514 days until the next halving. You actually have a little more than that. All right. Because I'm still waiting for this bottom. I'm still waiting for a bottom. Maybe it happens in November. Maybe that comes in December. It doesn't matter. I've already started averaging in. And when I started averaging in, the price was 50 cents. And as I always say, I am fine with that. I'm going to average my price down even further. Okay. So if I'm starting to average around here, which I have already, and I've got it delegated to the Crow node, I'm generating my free tokens every epoch, so forth and so on, except for the 2 that we missed because of the upgrade. But that's fine. So basically, I'm going to accumulate here. And let's say we go down even further, we come down. I mean, quite frankly, when I see a 25 cent ADA, I'm just going all in. I'm probably not. I mean, that to me will be the bottom, and that could be wrong too. Maybe it goes to 10 cents. I don't know. But at that price point, I am definitely, I'm going big. Okay. But I am waiting for a sub 30 cent ADA before I make another buy. That's just me, because I've already made my first buy at 50 cents. And so if I can average that price down to somewhere around 40, I'm good. I am good. And the thing of it is from the bottom, let's take a look now. And there are going to be differences here. So obviously the same gains aren't going to happen each market. All right. However, I think we could get close. Now, if I am looking at price range, so let's say I go from the halving to the peak, that is 5,345% gain from the last time you purchased to the peak of the market. So if you're averaging this whole time, and then this was the date of your last purchase happened to be on the date of the halving in Bitcoin, That's a 5,345% gain. Now, if we were to take this and and that was over, let's just see date range. All right. So date range, let's just call it 475 days. So if we were to do that again from this market, where would that take us in price? I'm just curious on this. Price range from the halving. Maybe make the halving. No, I don't want to do the halving at $1. That's too much. Let's make this halving. Let's just say the halving price is somewhere around, I don't know, it might be somewhere around 48 cents. Okay. Because if it does drop to 25 and then averages out and all that other stuff, let's just call it 48 cents. So at 5,000, we got a really good ways to go here. If we were to duplicate what happened in the last market, which is not going to happen, mind you. Wow. I mean, this is not happening. Okay. Just to let you guys know, but hypothetically 5,000, that would take us to around a $26 Cardano. That's not happening. But typically what we've seen in a lot of these prices, is that we see maybe a third. Okay. So if we were to break that down into a third and we just say, I don't know, roughly a third, and we say, maybe we get to 15 or 20, 25%. I don't know. So that's still a 19,000. Let's just say we got 1,904% gain off of that. That would take us to, okay, well, that'd take us to about $10. So given that, yeah, and I could see that as actually possible. As crazy and ridiculous as that could seem or sound, I have made prediction videos in the past that many have called out and said, oh, you were wrong. Yeah, I know, I was wrong. Cardano did not get to $8. I was hoping for an $8 to $12 ADA at one point. And that's not to say that that's still not a possibility. Okay. But even if we just got to $8, where would $8 take us? Let's take a look at an $8 Cardano in terms of percentage gain. $8 Cardano, that takes us to about 1,565%. I can live with that. I could live with that. So let's say I put $10. Well, I'd have to calculate it all out like I did before. But you can see how this could be very, very lucrative. And why do I constantly educate on Cardano? Why do I not focus on things like a Solana or Ethereum or any of these others? Well, because what you also have to keep in mind is that when Cardano peaked up here around the $3.30 mark, it was still not finished. Okay. This is all based on speculation alone with very, very, very little use case. We had just started getting into the NFT space. NFT collections were just starting to launch. There was a lot of stuff planned and a lot of stuff coming, but it hadn't happened yet. Well, now in this bear cycle, a lot of these things are actually happening, and we're expanding on Cardano's use case. And not only that, but Cardano has proven to be one of the most actively developed blockchains, actively developed layer one blockchains in the crypto space during a bear market, which is a sign of progress, a sign of stability, a sign of it's going to be here tomorrow, it's going to be here next week and next year. Where the majority of the crypto projects that people speculate on at pennies on the dollar, they go by to the wayside in a bear market. They don't develop, they don't do anything, they hibernate. Okay. And I used to think, in my ignorance of the last bear cycle, even though I was 100% all about Cardano, I shouldn't say 100%. I was curious. I wanted to see what were some of these other significant projects going to do. The majority of them didn't do anything because the sentiment isn't there. The education isn't there. And, you know, quite frankly, the technology wasn't there. You're talking about the difference between the growth of a layer one blockchain whereby other projects are going to build and develop, and then these other projects these like, you know, it's like you build a framework for a hotel and then you got people moving in and out all the time. That's kind of the way I see it. And as Cardano completes its milestones, Hydra being the next one that I am absolutely like, we're like with Soolblocks, Hydra is going to help us build and develop Soolblocks en masse, like in massive ways. It's going to reduce transaction costs. It's going to improve speeds, because some of the way that Cardano works on a blockchain right now is a little cost prohibitive, especially with the costs associated with bull markets. And Hydra is going to alleviate that so much that it will help us make Soolblocks that much more effective as a social media platform, which is also one of the reasons why we're structuring things the way we are now. So, I mean, you can see that this is all, you know, somebody that averaged in at these prices, the people that were watching me throughout all these times, because I was very active in the bear cycle. You know, a lot of you guys attribute your wealth, your newfound wealth, to me because you guys were watching me every day in the last bear cycle. Yeah, I took a break. I didn't do much in the bull run because I'm like, my job is done. And all these other YouTubers blew the hell up in the last bull cycle. Well, I can tell you, I plan on being around for this next one. Because the growth that everybody had, I'm like, man, I wish I had that. I felt like my job was done in the bear cycle, creating so many millionaires all over the world. But you know, when it comes to YouTube, yeah, they don't care about all that. They care that you're live each and every day. So hopefully that was helpful to you and that makes some sense to you. Hopefully that deserves a like. Hopefully that deserves some algorithmic comments and so forth. And now let's take a look at your questions and things and see if there's anything goings on. Adam R is always in chat. I love to see you. Man, I would love your opinion on Casper Network and what they are building over there. A lot of us people value your input on various projects in the crypto space, not ADA related, but here's the hoping. I'll tell you what I will do. Well, I have to find my pen. I don't know. I think my pen fell through my chair and onto the floor. Well, what I will do is I will make a note and I will check that out. Because I am looking, and if you're watching this video and you're like, hey, I would really love to know what Crow feels about this project, just post a comment below. And if it has enough up likes and maybe some supportive comments under it, I will start taking a look, because I am going to start doing some more deep dives privately for my own interest, but obviously for content as well. And I'm working on a new kind of a metric system on how I plan on evaluating new crypto projects and old ones for that matter. So I will make a note. Casper Network. I really want to. Yeah, I'll have to come back to this and make a note. If I don't make a note, I always forget. All right. What if my Crow NFT is in a Yoroi wallet? I don't know. We tell everybody, even on Murder of Crows, we put a link directly to the NAMI wallet because it seems to have provided, like, basically given the least amount of issues. Yoroi probably should work. Try it. I mean, see, will it let you like log in with your browser based wallet and see if it finds your Murder of Crows NFT, and it'll let you start creating your Soolblocks profile. Crow, bro, that new strategy is fire. 5 to 6 winning trades at the moment, and that's swing trading on 15 minutes and on hour candles. That's awesome, dude. I'm glad to hear that. I'm very much glad to hear that. I've got more indicator videos coming. I wasn't sure, like, would these help people? Are people into it? Smashed. Thank you. I appreciate it. I really, really do. I have limited data on my phone, so I can only watch for a bit. You just got to come back on your desktop. That's all. Mine is 1028. I'm not sure, Babyface, what you're referring to there. Ditto here. Scorpios. Oh, birthdays. Oh, okay. Oh, we've got Scorpios in the house. You devilish bastards. November 23rd is my birthday. Nice. So we got a bunch of birthdays. Maybe that's why you guys all follow me. We're all similar minded. You dirty freaks. It's okay. I'm 48. Yeah, you know, honestly, growing older, it is very scary to me because the way your body changes and the way things get more difficult that never used to be. And you know, you just wake up and you feel it, man. You know, like I hate being in a car. I hate going on trips. all that stuff is rough for me. So, I definitely feel the numbers growing. Yes, live. Let's go. Yes, we are live. I was 61 years in October. Thank you, Crow, for all your help, time, and effort. Respect. I love the fact that I have a 61-year-old gentleman following me on YouTube. That actually means a lot to me, because if I'm able to really help people, I mean, young and older, I say, not old. Yeah, I'm definitely, I love that. I really do. We didn't get a super cycle November 2021. My question is, will there be a super cycle in 2025? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. I think the day of the super cycles are likely over. And a big reason to do is because of the regulation, because of the institutions, because I think what we would normally expect as a super cycle as we move forward in the next markets, I believe, is going to be an elongated peak cycle. In other words, I don't necessarily see us having big parabolic runs in short time frames. I think we're just going to have longer bull market cycles. I mean, if you think about it, if you go back and you look at the 2003, 2004 chart, it goes on for a decade. All right. So if the similarities condensed in Bitcoin's price action and it fits the Bitcoin price action to the degree that, everything lines up pretty perfectly, and we're getting all these new regulations, we're going to have the CBDCs, we're going to have the Fed now, we're going to have all these digital tokens, these digital coins that are going to replace stable tokens. I've done whole videos on it. If you haven't watched it, you need to watch my 2030 prediction video. And I think that we're basically going to have elongated market cycles that I think are going to break away from having cycles, because it's going to be the period where some of the more prominent altcoins, such as Cardano, start to take off in their use case milestones above and beyond just store value. And I don't think that the prices of some of the top altcoins in the market with legitimate, strong use cases on a global scale are going to fall the way that we're used to seeing them. You have to understand, and this is such a good point for people, especially that are new here. You have to understand that everything that's happened up till now has pretty much been like use case exploration. Okay. It's like, okay, we've got this new technology. What's it good for? We've got this technology. What's that good for? What does this do for people? What does this do for this industry, that industry? And we used to call it all disruption, right? I don't think we're so much about disruption anymore as we are about how do we integrate blockchain technology into our everyday lives in very easy to use methods that establishes a higher sense of value, quicker, faster transactions, all of it. I mean, whether it's for data, for financial transactions, economy, all of that. And so I think we're entering a place now where, as these primary altcoins continue to blossom in their use cases and the cream continues rising to the top, the shadier, more, the more VC owned, team owned blockchains that are obvious, like cash cows for the people that are maintaining it and operating it and pumping millions of dollars into like paid marketing. If there's anything that I've learned over the past couple of years, is that money can buy a narrative, folks. I mean, and when I think about crypto and I think about a lot of these projects making hundreds of millions or billions of dollars, and they're going to all of these, crypto news platforms and ultimately buying articles, just because I could go to one of these companies and like, listen, I'm going to buy 6 sponsored articles, but I want 5 that aren't considered sponsored. Okay. I want you to write them on your own merit or your own whatever. They're not going to say sponsored. They're not going to say this or that. And I think we've seen a lot of that. And it's a lot of it is to basically create a fake sense of superiority over other projects. I mean, that's just the way it works. I've talked to a lot of these news sites. They're all here to make money. I mean, every one of these news sites, they're there to make money. So if you've got a big project and a big budget and a big wallet, It's not that difficult to garner support on those platforms. And so I don't necessarily pay as much attention to articles, other than like a fun headline for conversation. But when I want to really understand a blockchain and I really want to understand the technology, I look at its on-chain excuse me, its on-chain metrics and basically what on-chain data is telling me, as well as social sentiment, because that is a big role. But social sentiment can sometimes be guided by paid and sponsored content and articles all over the place, which is why it's such a huge industry. All right. So I'm not sure if I made much sense there, and I kind of rambled a little bit, but Adam Reed, he's live from LinkedIn. Well, that's cool. I don't see too many LinkedIn people. This platform allows me to stream to all of them. A well-deserved like. Thank you much. Stephen Thornton, what's going on? Woohoo, finally got you live. Question, what do you think the general public will appreciate? When do you think the general public will appreciate ADA? When they've paid off their house? You know, I mean, I kid, but I have so many people that know me personally who bought ADA, neighbors and everybody. They bought ADA. Some of them sold when the markets peaked up. Some of them held strong, and they're still holding, and they're accumulating more again. All these people, in my opinion, what I believe, they're all going to become, if they have not already become, millionaires by 2026. And that's just the way it is, And I've even tried educating people that do everything they can to make their lives make my life hell. And I tried helping this particular individual. I've tried explaining things, tried to give advice, and just hard nosed, just like, there are people that want to fight it. And then there are people who embrace it, and the people that embrace it benefit substantially. It's just one of those things. When are people going to appreciate it? I think a lot of people already do. The fact that almost 80% of its total supply is staked to nodes and not being dumped on markets in a bear cycle, that should tell you everything. People already appreciate it. What has to happen now are use cases that draw in these regular people, these non-crypto folks. And it has to happen in a way that can usher them in without complexities or barriers of entry, which is one of the reasons why I'm trying to get Soolblocks built, because I think that Soolblocks could very well do exactly that. And so that's kind of where my head is. Let me pull up something here. Where it is. Yeah. So it's like, for me, it's about stuff like this platform. I think it's going to help a lot of people kind of get into the space. And honestly, I don't even really want this to be like a Facebook or have 20 billion people on. If it does, great. But there are a lot of ideas and things that we want to implement here on Soolblocks that I think are going to play a big role in ultimately the next generation of social media, and how social media will take shape for a decentralized economy. And there are others out there. I know Somi just got a big capital raise and all that. And I was really big on Somi, but it's not built on Cardano. And, to build something like this on Cardano right now isn't really easy because of the nature of transaction fees and how things work. And so we're working on ways to alleviate a lot of that. And very soon we are going to basically open it up so that just by setting up your profile on Soolblocks and being active, you're going to be able to generate block tokens. And then you're going to be able to turn around and use those block tokens to buy advertising and things for projects and other stuff. So if you haven't already, I highly encourage you to set it up. And, if you want to play a role in making those decisions, make sure you mint a governance token, because there are only 500 of them. I don't even know how many are gone right now, but if that button's up, I'm assuming you can still get them. But this could very well be worthwhile. Not in the sense that, you're going to get one now for, I think, what are they, 400 ADA, and then you're going to like flip it tomorrow for 1,000. I don't think it's that. I mean, anything could happen. We don't control the prices. As the popularity and the use of Soolblocks continues to grow and get bigger, yeah, those NFTs could very well have some significant value, but we don't have any control. And I'm not saying that that's going to be the case. They could be worth less. I don't know. That's not really what they're about. What they're about is helping to guide the development of Soolblocks. So, Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff that we're going to be integrating into Soolblocks that I haven't even talked about. We haven't even added it yet to the light paper. But you know, you might want to take a look and read through this light paper. It's only 9 pages. Take a look, and it's living, so it'll change probably every week or two. The light paper will expand and it will grow, and we're as we continue to add like things that we're working on. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I think is going to help people get into the Cardano space for sure. Crow, great video. I'm buying weekly, hoping to get as many as possible. Thanks again. Yeah, and I have a list of the videos here. I'll give you. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. These are videos. I already did this one. That was today. How much Cardano to become a millionaire? Investing $10 a day for a year. Okay, that was pretty much what I just did. My crypto metric system, which I'm still working on. I am considering, let me know in the comments below. This is really, really big. If you can help me out with this. What would you guys prefer? I am working on a brand new course, and it's going to be a big one. I want to cover everything in this course. I could either do that on like a Skillshare, where you pay like $14 a month. I want a master course that I'm engaging with every day, answering questions, continuing to educate people, not just throwing a course online and then, you know, being done with it. I could either do that on Skillshare, or I thought about building my own education platform where, you know, it's all through PayPal. Maybe it's $5 a month, but we have a regular conversation. I'm answering questions within the course frame, all of that. Or I could do Udemy. But I think I'm leaning towards building my own platform on like cryptocrow.io and just kind of adding a crypto course or a series of crypto courses. Let me know what you guys think of that. Yeah, and then the other notes are like some websites I have to build. So let me know if you don't mind. I didn't take profits in ADA because of people like you who said it's going to $10. Okay, so biggest regret of my life. Okay, I mean, fair enough. But I also said when the market peaked on Twitter, I called the 2 market peak, and I said, you're going to get another chance. And I always say, don't do as I do, and don't do as I say. I say that all the time. I'm abundantly clear. And it doesn't matter what projections we make. And I've said this countless times. I mean, you had to have just watched one video and ran with it, which is always why I try to repeat the same things over and over every video ad nauseum. Don't listen to me. You have to make your own decisions on what's best for you. The decisions I make based off of my own risk potential, my own wisdom, my own experience, my own whatever, could very well be different than yours, right? So you have to do what's best from you. You do not do what any of us YouTubers tell you. You put what we tell you to work in furthering your own education and understanding and making decisions that benefit you the most. If you made, you know, a whole lot of money and you were up $200,000 at the peak of the market and you didn't sell because you were hoping for 10, well, I mean, I don't know what to tell you there, especially when me and many others were calling to peak all over the place. So, you know, I for all I know, this is just somebody who like is trolling, but it's a valid point. But you don't wait for me or anyone else. People that were waiting for me, I didn't even start selling my ADA until $2. I put in a stop limit order at $2, and I didn't tell anybody because if I was wrong, I didn't want people to do the same thing. And while people can say, oh, I was waiting because you said $10. Okay, first of all, that's silly. But second of all, let's say I did this big video. I put in a stop limit. It was like it was like $2.30 or something when I put in the stop limit. I was in Puerto Rico and I was busy and I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And I thought, okay, well, if I put in the stop limit at $2, then if it hits, then it's probably going to go even lower than that. And that'll confirm that we are in a bear cycle. We're not going up again. I had already called the 2 peak market. And so I was expecting it and I was pretty sold on that, but it was an emotional decision for me. And I wasn't sure if what I was doing was smart based off of my own wisdom and experience, or if I was being fudded out of the crypto space and I was making an emotional decision that would have turned out to be wrong. I turned out to be right pretty much all the way through, but I don't know that. And so people got upset. They said, oh, when you started selling, you didn't tell us. You didn't tell us. So what would the sentiment have been if I would have done a video? I just put in a $2 stop limit. It just hit twice. I exited a chunk of my Cardano position. Everyone else followed suit and it went up to 450 the next week. Then what? So for someone like me who tries to always educate people the best way possible, I always try to share information, not because I want you to do what I'm telling you, but because I want you to be more educated on the what ifs, that's, and thens. That's all there is to it. So you have to be able to make your own decisions on what's going on. You don't use us YouTubers as a concrete guide to anything because we don't know. We don't know 100% anything. All we can do is base what's going on in the market with what has happened in the past, and that's it. So, you know, you have to have some responsibility of yourself. You can't run around blaming everybody else because you did something stupid. Sorry. You know, and I'm not even saying it was stupid because ultimately you still have it. I would assume, I'm hoping you didn't wait and sell at a loss. And if you did that, that to me would be stupid. And that's my opinion. But if you're staking it and you're accumulating more, and you have been accumulating more this whole time, well, you've got a whole bunch of free ADA that's very much likely going to be worth a hell of a lot more here in a couple of years anyway. So was it a mistake? Was it the biggest regret of your life? Or was it an opportunity that's kept you here educating yourself every step of the way so that you are making more confident, more educated decisions moving forward? It's all a matter of perspective, to each their own. You control your crypto, not Crow. Crow and others give out information. You need to do your own research and do what you think is best for you. Thank you. I didn't realize that was the comment. But yeah, what up, Tiny B? How are you? See what else is going on here. Jack Keen, I'm with you on that. I will definitely invest a lot more if we get to those prices. Sup, Crow? Love this channel, but I don't see any real use case dev on Cardano or otherwise. Where are you looking? And what exactly do you mean? You don't see any real use case development on Cardano? There's so much real use case development going on Cardano. It's sickening. Like, what are you looking at? A Solana news site? I don't know what's happening here. That doesn't make any sense. Come on, G-Stands. If you stake, you're making crazy passive gains. Just wait it out and you'll be happy you held. I'm right here with you. We all wish we could have taken more profits, but nothing we can do now. Yeah, I wish I would have sold everything at $3. I mean, that was a big loss for me. But, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, I'm certainly not blaming Charles or anyone else that I didn't sell at $3. It was my own decision. I did what I did. Can someone please let me know what the actual use is y'all seeing? This talking point is getting old. It's either usable or it's not. It is usable. Okay. Damn it. I keep forgetting my pen. What was the first thing? Casper. And I need to do a video on use case because there's so much use case going on in Cardano right now. And the fact that you're questioning it and you're not seeing it, I'm like, where are you looking? So that's going to be my next video. What do you think about HBAR? I actually like HBAR. I always did like HBAR. It just didn't. You want to talk about use case? I don't know what HBAR is being used for, quite frankly. The technology sounds pretty sound, but I just don't know what it's being used for. G-Stands, not sure what you're talking about. It's a layer 1 blockchain. It's like any other one out there. You don't know what value there is to a blockchain. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. Thanks for the education, Crow. Appreciate you. I love your avatar. I love George Carlin. Oh my gosh, I love that man. You know who I was watching last night was oh my gosh, Iglesias. Fluffy, the comedian. He just did Dodger Stadium on Netflix special. And I'm like, man, I love that guy. He's so good. Much appreciated, boss man. I love the great beard look. P.S. Uber gay for Crow. Oh boy, you're gonna make me blush. I don't know. It's a random, looks like a bot asking me that. Thoughts on Cody or World Mobile Token? I'm going to be doing some videos. I've done a video on the other channel about World Mobile Token. So just look down below and you'll see a link for my other channel. I do a lot of shorts there right now, but I do edited scripted videos, and I've got like 5 more that I need to record and start uploading and schedule, but I've already got one up there for Mobile Token. Go check that out. November 5th. All right. My wife's ready to pop our first daughter out anytime now to December. Wow. Well, congratulations on that. I don't know if it's your first. Oh, yeah, first kid. That changes everything. I'm telling you now. And you said it's a daughter. Yep. Consider yourself just cut in half as a man. Because when you have daughters, it changes you. I'm just letting you know. If you have a little boy, everything is like fun. You're like, we're manly, and you're all rough and tumble, and you have a little girl, and like just her angelic little way is just going to soften you like you'll never have expected. Just trust me on that. As a matter of fact, we just got on my 9-year-old daughter her school photos today, and I like teared up. I can tear up right now. It's just, she's so sweet, and she's so good, and she's just so inventive and imaginative and considerate and generous, and just like all these great things. She's so nice, and she looks like a little journalist. She's wearing her glasses. She's got these giant dimples, and it's just so precious. And yeah, man, I'm telling you, having daughters, I have 3 daughters, and it changes you. It absolutely changes you. I'm gonna have to dry these so that they don't start itching. Good old Florida air. Great to see you, Crow. Love the indicator details, and curious if you still think we will drop lower in the overall market after the midterm elections, feeling like it is pumped up artificially. Yeah, I've been saying that for days now, if not weeks. I definitely see November. The end of November, I see us. I see a lot of things changing come November, but we'll see. The next 60 days of the markets overall and the global economic status, I think that's going to spell out a lot of what's coming in the near future. I joined the 60 Club this year and watch you all the time. Well, that's great, man. I love it. We'll have to start a Legends Crypto League. My girl's birthday tomorrow, too. Happy birthday to all of you November birthday people. Maybe we should do some big birthday celebration. 62. That's awesome. Lord Scott of XRP. I started watching Jacob Canfield again. His older videos still hold water to this day. I'm glad you mentioned him a few videos back because I've been trying to remember his name for years. Yeah, I didn't even, is he doing YouTube again? Now I have to go check. I've met Jacob a few times, man, and he's always such a cool dude. This guy, I think he used to be a chiropractor back in the day when like XRP was pennies. And I think he got into trading heavily, and he got into crypto, and he closed like a bunch of branch offices for his practice. And he, as a sign-off bonus, or basically like sorry, I'm closing, you got to move on, but here's a little bonus for all your hard work. I'm pretty sure he made all of them millionaires because he gave all of them XRP at the bottom of a market, and they were worth pennies at the time. And then we all know those shot up to the moon before the SEC lawsuit. So, you know, I mean, I've always liked Jacob Canfield personally, and I would love to have him on here and just interview him. Like, what's new? What's changed? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he had a blunder, but, you know, people do things sometimes. They're trying to get content out. They're trying. I don't really think anything he did was, I mean, was it dishonest? Yeah, it probably wasn't the most honest, but was it hurting anybody? From what I understand, it wasn't hurting anyone. It was just basically creating more FOMO to his content, which was actually quite valuable. Now, there may be instances or nuances that I'm not really privy to, but I've always liked Jacob Canfield. So, yeah, I mean, I would love to have him on and just educate people. And if you can learn from his trading, man, you better learn because the guy knows his stuff. Another great show, brother. You may not have the amount of subscribers that some of these pumpers do, but your content is far better. Appreciate your honesty. I really appreciate that. I really, really appreciate that. Lightbox Company. I'm in the crypto space since January 2018, made 10 times the investment. This only regret is to sell 25 Ethereum at $12.25 each just because of fear. Hence, stay there and you will surely make wealth. Thank you. That's cool. Casper. Oh, okay. Another vote for the Casper video. All right. I'm down with that. Hit the like button. Absolutely. I mean, I'm guessing there's 280 of you guys on there right now. I see 3 likes from Facebook. Amanda Apgar, whatever. Whatever. I meant to say what's up. I know Amanda from Cincinnati. She's a photographer. Never see her in chat, but I see her like on Facebook, so that's pretty cool. Chris Johnson and Ryan. I'm not sure how to pronounce that last name, honestly, but welcome if you're new here. Man, still not getting notifications you're live. I know. I gave up on it. I mean, I think a lot of the algorithm, they want to see people watching the content consistently. They don't want to see a lot of high bounce rate, and they want to see a lot of engagement. I mean, that's really it. If I want a video to do really well, I almost need to create like a quiz. You have to have comments. I don't comments in the super chat matters. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do with YouTube anymore, honestly. Okay, let's see. What is this? 514 days times $10. It equals 0.4 cents. That's actually 40 cents. 0.04. Oh, I guess you're talking about at the current price? Because what you just did is 40 cents, not 4 cents. It would be 0.04, which is why you only have 12,850 ADA. Total spend $7,000. 16,710 ADA at $8. It's 133,680. Roughly worked out, but gains to be made always. Yeah, I get that. I wasn't sure if you were trying to correct something in the previous video, but I guess you're basing that on current price. But I don't think the average price is going to be 40 cents. Honestly, I think we're going to go down. I think we're going to go down even more. Like I said, I would like to see a 20-cent ADA before the bottom or at the bottom. But thanks for doing that. I appreciate it. It makes sense. Hello, Crow. Am from India. All righty. Well, welcome. Glad to see you. Crow, can you do a video on how to lower taxes after holding for till 2025-ish and best options to maximize results for us mere mortals? Thanks for all your hard work. How to lower taxes. So here's the thing. I will tell you this. You've got income tax and capital gains tax. Now, I am not a tax professional. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about at all. Do not listen to any of my tax advice. But based off of my experiences, you've got income tax and capital gains tax. Capital gains tax can only be offset by time held. So the longer you hold something, at least a year, lowers your capital gains tax exposure the most as it relates to the tax bracket you're in. So depending on your income tax and your capital gains tax, all that plays a role. And the only way to otherwise offset capital gains tax is with capital losses, which is why a lot of the wash trading is a thing. So in other words, you see a lot of, because I don't think there are any tax laws associated with limiting, I bought Bitcoin at 20 grand. It went up to $40,000, but then it dropped down to 5. And so what people do is they sell it all at 5,000, even though they bought it at 20, they sell it at 5,000 real quick and buy it back so that they can show a $15,000 loss per Bitcoin. And then that capital loss goes into the capital gains that they may have otherwise had. Stuff like that. But that loophole may have already been fixed. I don't really know. It's a new year. And with this administration, I would expect any loophole that existed to likely have been plugged. So I don't know. You have to talk to a tax specialist, a CPA, something like that, a really good accountant, and they'll be able to answer all that stuff better than I will. The stuff changes like crypto regulation, like crypto rules. I don't know. I really don't. Those regulations only apply to US. I don't think Cardano is targeted for those types of countries. I think it targets underdeveloped countries that are growing, trying to leave US economy influence. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the Cardano use cases in Africa. So, that's they're making a lot of big changes in Africa. And I think ultimately it's going to grow beyond Africa, especially post Hydra. How many ADA do you need to become a millionaire? Well, I mean, it all depends on your average entry and the peak price, right? So I'll do another video about that in the coming days. Maybe this week I'll do one. I'm an engineer with emphasis on software integration. I plan on taking some time off early 2023 to learn blockchain development. That's good. That would be a really good move. It's only going to be a growing demand for blockchain developers. With Web3 and everything else associated with it, the entire world is going to change. So now is definitely a time to start. Check out Uptrend. It was a failed crypto social media platform. It could give you a heads up about potential potholes in developing a social uptrend. Man, Adam, you always have good stuff. And now you make me want to check out that Casper even more. So yeah, I will check out Uptrend. I feel like I remember something about Uptrend back in the day. So we'll have to see what that's all about. How do you not at least take profits? Yeah. I mean, to each their own. But I obviously the one gentleman who was speaking earlier, that had to have been his first market cycle. I'm not going to spend rewards till we close to the top, until we're close to the top of 2025. Yeah, I mean, that's basically where I'm at now. ADA to the moon. That is such a cop-out. You literally can't blame anyone but yourself for deciding when to buy or sell. WTF. Yeah, I mean, I don't see too much of that at all, but, if it makes them feel better, I guess. I think the takeaway is to read the bottom line of Crow's channel. Crow your coins. I know what the bottom line of my channel is. Crow your coins. Peter sells to Paul. Can you approve my Soolblocks invite? Yeah, I think there are quite a few people, I guess, that are waiting on confirmation of their Soolblocks profiles. So I'm going to talk to my dev about it today. I think we're supposed to have a call, and yeah, all those are going to get approved probably today. So I'm going to talk to him about it. How the Bitcoin ATM's doing? Joe Perez, it was the complete waste of money. Absolute and complete waste of money, time, effort, headaches. I'm pretty sure one of the machines never worked, could never get it to work. It was cost prohibitive at every level. The profit potential was very limited. You almost have to have 1,000 machines to really turn any kind of profit. The entire Bitcoin ATM business to me was just garbage. So I didn't even bother doing another video about it because I didn't want to spend another minute. Yeah, I gave them away. I literally gave the machines away for $1. That's how much those things meant to me. And I wrote it off, and it's all good. But yeah, it was a complete waste. There are big companies that are doing the Bitcoin ATMs and the crypto ATMs, and I'll leave it to them. I'm totally fine with that. Most people don't learn to trade till they have a lot and lose it all. That's not on you, Crow. Yeah, no, I know. And you know what? I don't mind comments like that every once in a while because it gives me the opportunity to give a little bit of a lecture. I don't know how many times over the years have I told everybody, you never do what a YouTube tells you to do. You never just blindly jump into something because a YouTuber tells you they like it. Because you never know the ulterior motives to somebody. You never know, are they just trying to pump a bag of theirs or whatever? It's almost like, when I called the peak of the market, everybody on Twitter was just flaming me. Oh, you're trying to FUD the market, Crow. You're just trying to buy in cheaper. Blah. I'm like, really? I already hold so much. Why would I need to try and play the public to buy in cheaper? Like I'm very well versed in the market cycles. I educate it all the time. Why would I actually go to such a length? And is that really what people have learned to expect from me over all these years and everything that I've done? I don't think so. Hashtag you must be new. But to each their own. I mean, ignorance is bliss in all things, I think. And, some people just love to resort to, they let their confusion or their ignorance spawn hate, hate and destruction and finger pointing and all sorts of stuff. So it's whatever. I'm not really all that bothered. So let's take a look. Is there anything else? Here's a big one. Let me see. Udemy would be a good place for a course. However, you'd be better on your own platform as it brings in traffic and allows you to keep costs lower and also offer things like merch. Excuse me. Yeah, I think I am going to be working on my own educational platform. I do. And I think I'm just going to keep the cost low. I might just set like a $5 a month, $5 a month thing, incentivize it as time continues and just have fun with it. Most people are scared of their own shadow. I had 15 Bitcoin in 2018 and sold them all at 3,600, the bottom. Wow, I learned real quick. Oh, damn. That really sucks. That definitely sucks. Danny Gonzalez, tip $2, but there's no question there. Please gently love the like button. Yes, Abscond. I'm all about gentle loving the like button. As long as there's just enough pressure to make that little click sound. That's nice. Oh no, bam, bam. I didn't take any profits and now I lost all my ADA and Celsius. Ooh, that sucks. That really, really sucks. I have no idea what's going to happen with Celsius, man. But man, and a lot of people over the years, they would ask me like, Crow, do you use Celsius? Do you use Celsius? And it's like, I was a big proponent. I like Celsius because of what I felt it was doing for people. But I always told everybody, no, I'm not using it because I don't trust any of these platforms yet. And it wasn't that I didn't trust Alex. It was that I just didn't know. With a lack of regulation to me, and on top of that, it was security. Like I just didn't for me, it was more of a security issue. I don't trust other people or platforms or any of that stuff holding my crypto. That's not why I'm in crypto. It's the same as like, I'm always weary of banks. I never know what's going to happen tomorrow at a bank. Look at what's happening in China. Any kind of custody platform to me is scary. And so I never use Celsius. And even when they were like, we'll have a desktop application. Like I was hoping for a desktop application that was like a standalone download that I could use, that I would control my keys, all that. No, it was a web-based platform. So I never used that either. And I told everybody, I'm not using this. I told them that. So yeah, I mean, it sucks, but yeah, that sucks. H bar, yes, loading up under 6 cents. I mean, that's cool. I was a Cardano hater, but I've been proven wrong time and time again. Eventually, you got to concede defeat and recognize the building. Wow, Jungle Inc. That actually takes a lot to say. I don't know. You're probably the first person I've seen openly admit being wrong about something in years. Seriously, I wish I could give you a little medal or something just for having some integrity, because we just don't see any of that anymore. I am often so disgusted by the lack of integrity on a daily basis. It's just like everybody has some, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like you never grow unless you're willing to admit fault, being wrong. I mean, we're not always right all the time. Not everybody can be. It's impossible. And the more active you are in anything, the more opportunities you're going to have to be wrong. The more interest you have in particular projects, or, maybe I don't know. I could have been wrong about Cardano. It just turned out I wasn't. I was wrong about other projects. Hell, what was the one project that I liked? It was a competitor for Celsius. Because at the time, my idea was, well, if I get into Celsius and then this other one, I think it started with a D. I can't even remember the name of it, but it did absolutely nothing. And Celsius blew the hell up. So I'm like, all right, 1 out of 2, that's not bad. And that was typically what I'd try to do. I'd get into a bunch of different positions. I'd get into 2, what I believed would have been were prominent positions that are focused on a particular industry. And I thought, well, if half of them go away and the other half do exceedingly well, then I'm a big winner. But that didn't even work out. So you can't be wrong, or you can't be right about everything all the time. Everything in the crypto space is a big gamble right now. People don't understand that adoption with something as new as blockchain takes time. Old people took forever to accept the internet. ADA being round and proven till now is very good for real corps. Totally agree. That's just the way it is. ADA, no progress whatsoever on this lame coin. ADA, much noise about nothing. The Vassal upgrade has brought nothing but nothing at all in terms of price. Says a weed smoking baby. I think that's hilarious. Wow. Yeah. People that do this are just it's just funny to me because they are so out to lunch. They have no idea what they're talking about. But they wear it on their sleeve. It's like, I don't know, there's so many other narratives that people just wear on their sleeves, no matter how wrong they are or how misinformed they are. But boy, they really get into their passion for spreading disdain. Maybe it's time to smoke another one there, baby. After November, do we think the crypto markets will be affected and how? Yeah, you're late. I think things are going to go down in November, but likely by the end of November. But we might start seeing a downturn after, like in mid-November. Maybe we bottom out by the end and just heading into December. I don't know for sure, but that's just what I'm seeing. So, yeah. Oh, there's Amanda. What's going on? Your birthday is Thursday? Oh, that's pretty cool. Happy birthday. I know my wife and I are going to EDC. It's a big like EDM concert. I'll probably be the oldest dude there. My wife is almost 40, but she looks like she's 25, and I'm 45 and I look like I'm 60. So not really. I mean, in person, people tell me I look a lot younger in person, but when my head takes up the whole screen and it's all salt and pepper facial hair, I look like a senior. But it is what it is. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and call it right here. Make sure you guys are checking out Soolblocks if you don't mind, and make sure if you're interested, read the light paper. It's on the Soolblocks governance page. Make sure you get yourself a governance NFT token so you can start voting as soon as we get that out there, which it's coming soon. And yeah, and then thanks again to my sponsor BitGet. I'm looking for a trade, but I don't have a trade yet. So I got one profitable trade, and so far I'm going to be diving in more. But yeah, I mean, if I think I'm going to be starting a trading team here pretty soon. But I want to create like a trading system, and I want to get a good trading system down, and then I want to invite people to join me. But I don't want to do it until then. So even though BitGet is like, they basically sponsored me for the month of November. It'll likely go beyond that, and they won't be a paid sponsor anymore, but I'll probably just keep rolling with it as long as I'm doing what I'm doing, especially if it's lucrative for folks. So we'll have to see. But yeah, on that note, I will see you guys very soon. Until next time, crow your blocks. Ho ho. All right, I'm out.